Welcome, everyone, to Check Engine Anonymous, the only podcast support group for automotive oddities, car calamities, industry insights, track day excuses, and venting about what keeps our engine lights on. I'm Lee Taylor, and joining me in person for the first time is Ollie. And actually, I'm joining you because I don't live in Brisbane, and you live. This is your house. So we've had a bit of a makeshift setup today, as we're down. Well, I've come up from Adelaide to Brisbane to film some things with Ollie this week, which you'll see on the channel in the next week or two, probably next 3 weeks. We'll be able to roll content out from this. And yes, that's pretty much the main update. I'm enjoying the fact that it's warmer in Brisbane. It's humid in Brisbane, so I don't feel like a prune when I walk outside.
We've had some humidity come back this week.
So nice.
I know it from my run this morning.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's humidity for sure.
I don't know how people run in the humidity to begin with. How have things been going for you this week?
Yeah, pretty good. I think, we're really busy. Obviously, we're speaking to a lot of brands. We've got a heap of cars coming in this week now. It's a public holiday here, so it still feels like the weekend. But yeah, we've got a heap of new cars coming. Some stuff from, what have we got? Kia this week.
Two Kias this week. We've got a couple of Hyundais.
Yeah, and we're in discussions.
Honda, BMW.
Yeah, and we're in discussions with a certain racetrack in Brisbane as well.
Yes.
So more to come on that. Nothing confirmed yet. Nothing's been signed and nothing's been agreed. But we've got some conversations happening in the background, which is really exciting content off the back of that. So that's basically been it. And trying to. The Hyundai's been good.
No wood. Okay, so no, I was going to ask. No crazy Hyundai stories this week. Okay.
No, and then obviously the big one that we're going to talk about, one of the main topics today is the F1, which is really exciting.
Miami Grand Prix.
And I'm excited to have a bit of a chat about that because we've obviously had a bit of a break with everything that's going on in the Middle East. So
why don't we go straight into it? Because I have some weird opinions about F1, like in general, coming from class racing. And I don't mean like poor, like actual mixed class racing, multi-class racing.
And also that class in England is slang for good. So you'd be like, that's class. Anyway,
that's a good point. Actually, it's not middle class racing, is it? It's high class racing. Yeah. In fact, I believe there's an endurance team called high class racing. But so they're in Miami this week, and interesting start with Max spinning in the first lap.
That was in the feature race.
Yeah. And
how he held that, what a move.
Yeah, completely. Just there's a reason Max Verstappen is so good, and we see it when this shit happens. And don't get me wrong, Max is a bit of an interesting character. I feel like
I've met him.
Oh yeah, really? Oh, because Aston Martin.
Yeah, Red Bull. When I used to work, I worked in the Red Bull racing office, and he used to come in all the time. He was very young when I met him. I think he was 18 or 19.
He looks young now.
yeah. But he came in, he just had headphones on, and I'd say hello. We were briefed not to speak to the drivers anyway, because it's just part of being professional. But we said hello a couple of times, and that was it. So but I have met him. So yeah.
What did you think? In that passing moment, pretty chill, or?
Yeah, well, look, he always used to come in, walk through the office, go and do what he did have to do, and so it was literally a hello, shake his hand, and that was it.
Keep moving.
Yeah. And then there was when we had Mark Webber in the office as well. I don't know if he was actually driving at the time. I think he was just there as a consultant. And he was really friendly. Mark Webber was great.
I've heard a lot of good things about Mark Webber. Yeah. And then Porsche driver, GT driver now. Porsche GT as in GT3, GT4, et cetera, their works driver, his name instantly went out of my head, but he does all the sign off for GT3 work. He used to run for Flying Lizard Porsche in the States, in IMSA. I met him a few times, and he's also lovely. He looks like a grumpy old man, but he's actually really sweet. Walter Rall, that's who it is.
Walter
Rall. Not Flying Lizard Porsche. The other Porsche team. Anyway, so Walter Rall, he's very German.
Yeah.
Very German.
Yeah, there you go.
Audi Quattro legend from rally. Anyway, Miami Grand Prix.
But yeah, that spin and why he's so good. That's why he's been driving for Red Bull for that long.
And he is really good. He's a bit of a character, but he is really good. But Leclerc looked really good too.
He did until the last lap.
Until the last lap.
That was they would have been cleaning. That was a Code Brown if I've ever seen one. Was it Gasly that ended up on his roof? Yeah, that was
at some
interesting.
point. Yeah,
Yeah. It was a fluke mixed together, wasn't it? So
There was
that
a
was in
couple
the
of
feature
those.
race, and then it seems just overall the McLaren seemed better, but they didn't done some well after the time off because it was all Mercedes and Mercedes and Ferrari with the off the line, and then the Mercedes seemed to get better. But it seems like McLaren, obviously we've got Lando won the sprint race, right?
I think so.
And then, yeah, obviously they just seem in the mix a bit more, which is a bit more exciting. Got 3 teams in the mix. Then Max, oh yeah, he's just got that. He doesn't even said he's the best driver in the world in my opinion. He's so good. Yeah,
I don't know.
he's so look, but that, and then I watched the press conference after the race, and about that spin, I was like, I've had that in games before, when your momentum takes you that way, you spin the car, you end up facing the right way. Probably that was the case with Max and what happened in that incident on turn.
Yeah.
However, he did claim that he meant that, and he went, "Yeah, we meant to spin that round. I didn't mean to do the full 360." I was like, "Okay, mate, all right." But it's I don't know.
There is a way, like if you have the instinct to release the brake at the right time, the car will come around.
Maybe it was instinctual, and I'm not giving him enough credit, but it was like, the fact that he came out afterwards and said, "This was me, I did that." I'm like, that's amazing. That's what an amazing piece of drive under pressure as well. Under pressure, around, crazy.
That's the thing, and like F1's changed a lot over the years, and this year particularly with all the new engine recovery systems, or they're trying to call that anymore, it's called something else, and the way they're using the deploying the hybrid tech, there's a really big difference in how the cars look on television now, and how the slower car being overtaken by a car using the energy system, it looks like they're broken down.
Yeah.
It's such a massive difference.
200, 300, 400 horsepower in small moments for the overtake button, right? Something like that.
That sort of disparity in speed can be really challenging. So it's probably adding a layer for them. It does make it more exciting for those of us who watch it, because it means more passing, more interesting playing. But we have heard the drivers complaining about having to be slow and drive the car differently.
Yeah, and that I'm probably in agreement there to an extent. F1 to me should be the pinnacle of racing, make the cars go as fast as they possibly can go. And I think with what we're doing here, they're compromised in a certain way. Yes, the racing's a bit better. And I think we might lose some drivers, particularly Max. I mean, he's been very outspoken on that he does not enjoy driving this kind of car.
Yes.
So and he's not driving the fastest car, which is probably, he wants to win.
No racing driver wants to be in the slow car.
No. So it's, I think Lewis Hamilton said it a few years ago. He said, 80% is the car, 20% is the driver. Yes, in F1. And yeah, but I don't know. I'm mixed feelings on the current regulations. Suzuka, there's no denying, this year was way better than last year. That was a snooze fest.
Yeah.
But it must be so frustrating as a driver. You push a button, 400 horsepower, shoot past someone, but you've got nothing left to defend with now, and now you're just going to get driven past on the next straight. So it's kind of it's more taking.
F1's always been a strategy game, which is a big piece of it, I think. But I mean, my hot take on F1 is that I equate it to motorsport's version of horse racing.
Okay, you're gonna need to explain that one.
Because it's a little man, like none of them are tall. There's maybe one or two exceptions.
George Russell, he's quite tall. He's like 6'1", I think.
Yeah, but most of them are like
you're right.
little guys.
Yeah.
On top of something that is specifically designed to kill them. They just happen to be able to write it in to some degree. And if that thing they're riding decides that it wants to be done, it's pretty easy for it to be done with whatever's on top of it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, especially when it comes to like Charles Leclerc on that last lap. Like, he just got a little bit too much oversteer, and you can't catch that thing. It's on a knife edge. Like, he literally, I saw he went full opposite lock as soon as the thing went.
You do.
It's gone.
But I guess my question there is, I know these guys are really good drivers. They have to be to get this point. But are they the best in the world when it comes to racing drivers? Max is a bit of an anomaly. We've seen him run at the 24 Hours of Nürburgring and just eliminate people.
I make jokes that Matt, he's a robot. He's a robot.
He interviews like one.
yeah. But he does not make mistakes. He's what he does. But they're so small, and he's robotic. He's just going to win, and he does what he's a winner. To me, yes, is the answer to your question with Max. A lot of the other drivers, obviously, they're going to be very fast. And a lot of them do race in different classes as well, especially when they finish, they go into endurance racing or whatever. But Yeah, I don't know. Would you put them in a V8 supercar race? Some of them do, some of them do, and they do really well.
Right.
Yeah.
I think like Max, I don't want to take anything away from his skill because he's got it, but it's known fact that Max does the work. When he's not sleeping, he's doing something in a race car.
Yeah,
And that shows
he's all the virtual,
all the sims.
Yeah,
he's racing his own car. Like he does all the things. So he puts in the work for some of the other F1 drivers. So we won't be naming. We'll go out and play Playboy in Monaco for 3 weeks straight. You know, it's like.
But that's and I see this in sport, and we've all played sport, and you know, there's a particular footballer in my head that I grew up with, and he used to score 50, 60, 70 goals in the season. You just passing the ball, he scores a goal. Like that's just insane. And he's very talented. So what I'm talking about is talent and hard work equals a really good racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not, and I think Max is the personification for that. He loves what he does it, lives it, breathes it, and he's extremely talented. And he's been brought up with it. His dad put him in a car when very young. So
I mean, that'd be an interesting documentary.
Yeah.
I think, you know, but to counter my point about, you know, F1 is not the best. I don't personally think F1 is the best racing in the world. The best racing in the world to me is World Endurance Championship or IMSA, because it's multi-class. So you have cars who are arguably as quick as F1 cars in the prototypes, the LMPs and the hypercar or hypercar now.
Yeah.
Driving on a circuit with GT cars, which are significantly slower, and then multiple classes of GT car. So like pro level drivers in GT D, and then GT, I think GT and Pro is all the bronze rated drivers or less. And so these are guys who just do this and have the money.
Yeah.
You know, then you have the pro guys in GTD and then hypercar. And all of them are on the track at the same time. Oh, not to mention, you know, LMP1, LMP2, depending on where you are.
And you're tired.
Tired.
Times a day. You've driven, there's cars different every time you get in it.
Yes.
Fuel loads, tires.
Different driver changes.
Yeah.
And these races go, you know, from 4 to 24 hours. And that's why the 24-hour Le Mans, 24-hour Daytona, 12 hours of Spa, they're all massive. Nürburgring, they're all massive events because it's a test of endurance, not only the car, but the drivers as well.
Is it maybe that's like I've never thought about this, and this is just coming off of my head, but maybe it's a bit like in the Olympics, you've got somebody that can run 400 meters, and they're the best at running 400 meters. Maybe that's your Grand Prix racing, and then you've got your Mo Farahs, which is like your marathon runners, and they're just different athletes almost. And I never thought about that. Maybe because you might be really good at Grand Prix racing, but you can't do the World Endurance Championship because it's different.
And you think about the legendary drivers who have done a little bit of everything. A lot of the drivers, as they get older, end up in rally for car control reasons. They're just really good at car control. But you don't see many drivers go between formula cars straight into GT or straight into hypercar. It's just because they're different. Yeah, and they're difficult.
Yeah.
Max has done that. He's done GT quite a bit. He says he loves it.
Yep.
You know, we've got our visitor now, and we've got Max has done that for GT, but then we've also have Kimi did it. Kimi Räikkönen did a Formula.
I was going to say the Finns. He was Finnish, right?
Finnish?
Yeah. The Finns are renowned for their. If you look at how they do their driving tests, it's all off-road rally. Yeah. What's the saying in racing? You want to win, employ a Finn. That's
yes. Yeah.
So
I think that was I started with Nikola. Mika
Hakkinen.
There you go.
Yeah.
I completely fudged that up. So yeah, and then Kimi raced NASCAR as well. He came and did a couple of the.
Well, that's easy. Anyone can do that.
I don't know about that. I worked on that a while, and I used to think that as someone who drove, and then I went and did a couple of speedway laps, and I was like, oh, this is different.
You just put your foot down, turn left.
Yeah. Okay. We should go to the speedway track one time. That'd be a fun adventure. Actually, that would be a fun adventure. Go dirt track running.
I'd be very excited.
Dirt track is a different thing again. But yeah, you think about the legends who have done it all. Mark Webber is a good example. Kimi, Schumacher ran endurance races.
Yeah.
And
Mark Webber, that I always think of Mark Webber at Le Mans. You're only witness to the
Mercedes. Yeah. Dale Earnhardt did it. He ran NASCAR and then ran for Corvette Racing at the 24.
Yeah, right.
And won this.
I didn't know that because again, you're talking like he's the Max Verstappen right of his era.
Absolutely,
yeah. Even I know that. I don't know much about NASCAR, but that
He's the name.
He's the man, right?
He's the name.
Yeah.
Go Dale. That's going in. Just done that on camera. Oh God, my redneck's showing.
And you're in Queensland too.
And I'm in Queensland, so it's just fitting. It really is just fitting. I just need to go get like my really bad, we call them thongs here, which is a different problem, and short footy shorts, my red or blue. Rugby shorts.
Yeah.
Crappy tank top and my hat.
Yeah, get the wife beater on. You know,
Well, husband beater.
Yeah.
No, but it's racing. I think that's what I love about racing in general. Is there's so many different wild versions of it, and it's so rare. To bring the point back, it's so rare for someone to be able to be good at a lot of them, and Max is one of those wild anomalies.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at the rest of the teams, and you're like, who else would do this in the current breadth of drivers?
Yeah, if you go back to the Olympics analogy, obviously you've got the triathlons and the
decathlons or
whatever, all that
yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you've got those athletes that they do it all, but they're not. If you put them in a specific event, they're not going to win, and that's a testament to your Dale Earnhardts or your Max Verstappens again. And you're right. Or would you? Because look, they're supposed to be the best drivers in the world. If anyone, I'd be really interested to see some of the other drivers just put them in to another series of races. Yeah. There's going to be some racing aficionado somewhere that says, "Oh, did you know that in the last 3 weeks, because they've not been doing F1, they've won all these races?"
Yeah, probably.
Amazing, right? But maybe not. And I don't hear about it, but we hear about Max doing it.
Yes,
yeah.
And because he's successful at it when he does it.
But I've heard all you hear for a lot of what you hear from F1 drivers is they'll say the schedule is so packed, so I'm not interested in doing other stuff.
I'm either testing or I'm in the sim or we're at the track, which makes sense. So if you don't live and breathe it,
yeah, you can't be an F1 driver, or you're compromised.
Yeah,
So that's it's interesting. I never thought about that. But I think you're right. Are they the best drivers? But again, would you take a World Endurance Championship driver and put him in a Grand Prix car? Is he going to be as fast? And it's just that second Red Bull seat. It's cursed.
It is
absolutely cursed. How many drivers have been through it now? Alex Albon. More recently, I've forgotten all of them already.
Albs weren't that good.
But Liam Lawson.
Oh yeah,
Super Races. That was
the poor guy.
Horrific. I've got a nickname for him, which I won't use on the podcast either. Who else have they had? Sergio Perez. They fired him, and how he looked like a hero now.
Sergio as a good driver.
Yeah, compared to these Liam even. And then now we've got Yuki Tsunoda. And he lost his F1 now. So
because he was Racing Bull or whatever it was called.
Yeah, he was Racing Bull. He's had a solid seat there. We need to rename this podcast the F1 podcast, right? But it's he had a solid seat with Red Bull, and that's ruined his F1 career. And I know there was the Honda relationship too, which they wanted a Japanese driver, and they wanted Yuki Tsunoda. So maybe there's a bit of that. That's the timing of when he went to Red Bull, because he's just a reserve driver now. That's it. And
well, the reserve guys sometimes have, in my personal opinion, I think the reserve guys sometimes have the better job. Because they don't have the pressure of being on the highlights.
That's true.
But they get to go do the car test. They get to go play with the new prototypes that the manufacturers make and, do some adjustments with them. They get to go do the drive days. Like, that sounds more fun to me than being pressured into trying to rein in some 1,000 horsepower electronic horse.
But it's hard to keep in that role though, because there's so many drivers coming from F2 that want to get into that test driver
thing.
And you've got Bottas when he, did he get fired or his contract ended at Mercedes, and he was a test driver for Mercedes and a couple of other teams for a while. And
he's a Cadillac?
Yeah, now he's a Cadillac and he's got his seat, but he did a great job because he promoted his personal profile really well. So, because obviously he really he lives in Australia, I think, too. So
he lives in South Australia.
Yeah.
He lives in McLarenville.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so he's
in my cafe like once a week.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so he really lent into that whole Aussie thing, and he did some adverts here and stuff like that. And then he's there, so he's the obvious choice. He's obviously got the experience. Then Cadillac went, had a seat. Dumb, so that was it. But yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to talk about with F1 was the curse of the second seat. Because and the theory is, just for a bit of context, and F1 nerds out there, is that second seat, because that car has been built around Max. This is the theory, and it's apparently they're really nose heavy. He likes it. The way I had it described to me is, you imagine a mouse, like if you have your mouse, and it's on a really sensitive setting. But for you or me, we might that's too sensitive. So you just have a little movement, the mouse shoots off the screen. That's how Max likes his car.
Yeah.
So it's called very pointy, is how people describe that. And he likes a front end, whereas it's unique to him. That's built around his driving style. And no one else can drive like that. And we've seen
it. I think there was a really good piece. I want to say For Love of Cars did it, but it was
it was Driver 61 I saw did a piece on that.
It was the British motor journalist. They drove a RS. Oh, it was for Ford actually. They drove an RS 2000 Cosworth, and they went and drove in the GTD.
Mm-hmm.
And Max was talking to Chris about how he liked the car setup, and he made several comments about the car's not quite where we want it. It's a little bit understeer here and there.
Was that Richard Hammond?
No, it was
I have
Chris
watched
something.
it. I've watched it. I've seen the same thing. Yeah, and he spoke about setup and he was like, "You take it." He was like, "Oh, I'm taking this easy." It's just like, this is easy.
This is a journalist who's been out in some crazy cars who races himself as about to shit his pants. Chris Harris.
Yeah,
That's
Chris
Harris. He's a good one.
Yeah.
So speaking of track cars, if you were gonna say top five,
So just
okay, so we were talking about this beforehand, and we issued a challenge. If we had to pick 5 cars to use as cars on a track day or as a base car for a track day car, under 50 grand. So 5 cars for a track day car under 50 grand, new or used, what would be your top? So we can go one at a time.
So I haven't put these in any order. So I haven't put them in, this is my favorite one or this.
Me either.
I've just got a list. So should we start with the one we agree on? Because we know what one's going to be right.
The BRZ?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other ones we don't know what we've picked, but we both kind of figured we're going to agree on BRZ.
Yeah, I didn't, but I put BRZ and 86 because to be the same car, right? I didn't bother having a Sport Beach one. They're essentially the same car, very close anyway.
So in current or last generation?
Look, if it
both.
It's okay. So I want to keep this simple because that's a complicated answer, right? So if it was my money and I had $50,000 to have a track day car, I would buy the last gen.
Okay.
And then I'd make some mods to it. And then I'd probably have some money left over for things like a trailer, that's fair, that kind of thing. However, if it was just to buy the car, I think you can scrape one for 50 grand. It's only going to be the base.
You can buy a used TS. I looked yesterday. You can buy a used BRZ TS.
With the Brembo brakes.
The Brembo brakes and everything.
Yeah.
For a new generation one, not the old generation one, for about 40 or less.
Okay. So,
And I'm like, that's enough money to put tires on it, to put a extinguisher in it. You don't really need to do much to it, especially if you're just getting into it for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, it's a phenomenal chassis. Pads, disc, safety equipment. And this is the 50 grand should not include your safety equipment. Let's just be clear about that. But if you're going to make changes to the car, it's a pretty good deal. And it's a really good deal. And I think we're going to diverge after that.
That's, to be honest, that is what, like, when the channel gets a bit bigger and we do that, that will be my suggestion to do that. I've got an idea for a series. We don't have the money for it yet, but a series would be a $20,000 86, and then I want to supercharge it, turbocharge it. Basically, how fast is it round potentially our track partner, and then stock, and then show you guys how we can progress it and which mods actually do that. So, like, first of all, we'll change tires and brakes, and then we'll change power, and then we'll change suspension, and then do lap times as we go through. So if you guys think that would be interesting, then drop a comment below. But I think that's
subscribe, because that helps us get the money. Subscribe, watch it, give it to all your friends, tell them just leave it on the background.
We need some serious views before that's the reality. But that would be the plan for the future for sure. But anyway, you go for your next one.
Okay, so this is where I think we're gonna have to rock, paper, scissors for our track car special, because my always go-to is Miata. Everything's magical in a Miata.
Yeah.
You want to do motorsports, get a Miata.
Yeah.
So it would be a current generation MX-5.
Okay.
GTRS.
I thought you were going to say Mark 1 because there's...
No, I can't fit.
All right.
I'm too tall. I barely fit in the current one. In fact, when I was looking to buy my Fiesta ST, I almost bought a year-old demo MX-5.
Yeah, cool.
But I had a 38-kilo Shepherd, and she doesn't fit in the car with me.
Put her in the boot.
she sticks out the roof. she could sit there and ears out of the top, but a car that is so good, and they race them in the States. It's the MX-5 Cup.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's entry level series, just like the 86 series here and in New Zealand. And it is, if you want to see really good door to door hard racing, watch the MX-5
Well,
Cup.
they do it here.
And the MX-5 Cup.
I don't know if it's called the MX-5 Cup, but they do have. I've seen it when I've been to tracks here.
They have an MX-5 class.
Yes.
Motorsport Australia has an MX-5 class.
Yeah, and it's against the same. They have like dual class on the track.
Yes.
It's Porsches against
944s and
no 911 proper PDK $500,000 jobbies against MX-5s. But the MX-5s I know they've got paddle shifts and all sorts.
So let's have brought over some of the race cars then.
Yeah. So actually MX-5 was on my list too.
Oh, there we go. So we've agreed on two.
Two for two.
And current MX-5.
Okay.
Because the last generation MX-5 was too fat, in my opinion. Having driven every generation of MX-5 at this point.
Yeah.
The new one is just, it doesn't matter which engine you get, because there's been a slight change in engine across Indy and Indy 2 and soon to be Indy 3 apparently. But the Indy is just a phenomenal car.
Yeah.
And it's,
I've not driven one.
oh, we should get one. We'll talk to Mazda. If you're listening, Mazda, call me back. But we had one on the channel 4 years ago, and I loved it. And our producer, Alex, in the background there, had to leave a lot of footage on the cutting room floor because I kept saying Miata instead of MX-5.
Yeah.
And if you go to the end of that video, I think I explain and have a bit of a moment at the camera about why it's an MX-5 versus a Miata. It will always be a Miata to me.
Yeah.
That's what.
Do you know, when they launched the Gen 3 one, it was on Top Gear. Did you,
Yes,
you remember that?
remember that,
Richard
yeah.
Hammond?
Yeah.
He did a great job of that. And he raced it against the dog around the...
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was great. But, and I'm thinking about an MX-5, an original early Mark 1 or Mark 2, where they're just getting so expensive now.
So expensive.
And the problem is, stock, they are rubbish. They are rubbish. You have to spend the money, like chassis bracing, change the gearbox.
For the early ones,
Yeah, and I just, it's not worth it. Like if you just buy one to take around a track, it's not great. But if you want to learn to work on a car,
oh, they're great.
that's what you do. Tell by it if you want, whatever.
Yeah, like a MB, NC, early NC. NC still patent heavy. So like an MB is probably prime MX-5 for track. There's a lot of people that autocross them and track them in the States. But if you want a modern one, ND is just excellent because they've gone back to their roots with it.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
improved.
Yeah,
and the brake package is good. So you don't have to do the same thing that you would do to like a BRZ or 86. Tires are pretty good out of the factory, but if you want to stick your tires, you stick your tires. Brake package, just make sure it's good to go, fluids, and you're pretty much fine. And you can go as hard or as soft on those cars, on modification as you want.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the Miata is a nice car.
So we're on 2.
We're at 2 for 2.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, number 3.
Okay. I'm going rogue now from this, and this
Okay.
goes. We're going to be up towards the top end of the budget, but I'd go Cayman, Porsche Cayman.
Can you get one for 150 grand?
Yeah, you get one.
Be
It's not going to be great,
No.
but I don't want a nice one for the track. That's the thing, right?
Then you got the engine packaging.
I know
that.
it's bold. It's a bold choice. Would it be my first choice? No, but I think if you, let's say I was progressing, so I thought, okay, I've had my MX-5. I nearly said Miata then. MX-5s. If I had my BRZ, what do I want to learn next, right? So I understand how a car works. Maybe I'll go for something front wheel drive, which is a little cue from one of the other ones. But the next step up, so you've got more power. The dynamics when you drive a Porsche is just next level. They're better than the BRZ, but it's just BRZ more basically is how I feel.
I think that's a good shout. I think my only worry with a Cayman under 50K is how much money you're gonna have to spend on it in just like bushings and maintenance and
Definitely.
God knows what's been done to that engine, and like
they have issues with the early ones, which is probably what you're going to get with the bore score issues, IMS bearings. Yeah,
but they are a phenomenal chassis.
Yeah.
The Cayman and the Boxster. You have to go Cayman because you can't run a Boxster in Australia without putting the roll cage in. If you do like competitive things, so there's a whole class issue there. But the Cayman gives you a bit more bang for buck. And I think so. That's a good shot.
It's a stiffer chassis.
And I didn't even put it. It is, yeah. I didn't even put the Cayman on my list because I was like, nah, the one I'd want would be way too expensive. I want an S.
And you know what? Part of my issue is I have in my head how much a Cayman costs. My frame of reference is the UK because that's why I looked at them last, other than the GT4, which is my dream car. And yeah, they're 200 grand, which you're not going to get, but it's, and that's my favorite car ever, but realistically anyway. But yeah, the Cayman, that's on the list for sure.
That's fair.
That's on the list. But yeah, that was my left field, I guess, choice.
I've got 2 left fields. Well, one's not so left field. It's just not quite as popular here.
Yeah.
My number 3 was going to be a Mustang.
Yeah.
No. A GT Mustang. I knew you were going to hate it. I knew you were going to hate it. You can get a last gen GT Mustang for under 50. You do need to buy tires and brakes. You do need to upgrade the pads significantly.
And
but
the engine and
the engine's great. The 5-liter is great. The Coyote is such a wonderful engine. You get a manual. You just have to try to find a good spec, which is kind of hard. You'll be pushing that 50 grand for a good spec.
Yeah.
But if you could do it and you didn't want to spend that 50 grand on modifying the car too much, you can do it. Now, the Mustang platform, we've talked about this a little bit. I'm a firm believer that the platform is a great platform because you can then get parts from like Steeda or Roush, chassis parts, suspension parts.
They have got a good aftermarket for them because they've been making it for a while, and the Yanks love.
We do.
They like. Yeah.
We also just love a V8 and we love a Mustang. And
look, I'll give you that. So the drive line, if I'm being generous, is good. So that Coyote motor, you can get some serious power out of that without having to forge it.
You don't.
It
revs high for a V8, but it doesn't work hard. So you could leave the transmission, which is a little bit of a finicky one, and the engine pretty much stock for as long as you want because you don't need any more power in the car like that, and just play with. I know you want. I've driven a GT350 with the Voodoo, and I'm like, that's heaven.
Yeah.
But you can leave that fine, and then the suspension you can package up really well. And if you can get that to play with you, you've got it's a big car, and big cars drive differently. They're a different animal on a road course because the weight is a big thing on those cars.
And you know what? That's actually, so I've driven a few of these. My last job, we had I just cool Mustang. Let's take that home. Every time I drove one, I really didn't like it.
Really?
I really didn't like it. And look, in fairness, I didn't drive it on a track. So I just want to be really clear about that. It felt like a ladder frame chassis is how it felt.
Yeah.
It just, the chassis felt very unsophisticated. It's not a European car. It's an American.
It's the best way an American car.
Right.
It's a lot better than it used to be. I agree with you. It does not feel as sophisticated as something like an M2.
Oh, not even close. No. I think we're going to track that thing. An M2 versus Mustang would be a good.
I love an M2. An M2 is one of my favorite cars on the face of this earth. But if we ever got the chance to do a Mustang versus M2, I will happily take Mustang.
You'll wear a cowboy hat when you do it?
Yeah, I'll ride it in. I'll come up in chaps and everything. What do you? I'm not scared. So I went Mustang. You went Cayman. What was number 4? So you.
This is, I think our editor is going to be very happy with this one. I'd go a Clio Cup, I think.
A Clio?
Yeah, I'd go Clio. Because maybe I'd go Megane. I was actually torn between the two. I think
Megane's on my list.
Because the thing is, I don't know, what I was trying to think about is like if I'm new to track stuff and then I also have overlaid my previous track experience. And when you go things like Megane or even the Cayman, if you have that as your first track car, you are going so fast when things go wrong. So, and then when it goes wrong, it
goes wrong.
It's really bad. Whereas if you crash in a BRZ or in a Clio Cup as your first one, or a Miata MX-5, like it's fast, but you're not going to die, right?
Well, if you crash in a Mustang, the wall hurts.
It's just a Mustang-shaped hole. You go through the wall.
Instead of horses in the background. I think the Clio is a good shout. I had a early Clio, a 172, but one of the first Clios before the Williams, or after the Williams rather. And I had a Megane 265.
Yeah.
And the Megane, that generation Megane's on my list because they're affordable and they're weapons.
They're great. Well, it's actually Top Dead Center, who's a little niche. I'll say niche. They're big now. They've got 300,000 subscribers. one of those guys. They've just finished doing a Megane build. I don't know if you've seen that. Check it out if you haven't.
So beautiful.
They've done a really good job, and that thing's fast. And I like that they've got a limited slip diff for standard too, which I've had front wheel drive cars, and that does kill your time on track. You want a limited slip diff. It's actually quite a sophisticated diff.
It is
on the Meganes as
well. Same like so. As I started on front wheel drive, like a lot of people do, and I think front wheel drive was a good place to start because it's affordable. The problem with the Megane, this is why it's kind of to and fro for me, is that they're now becoming difficult to find parts for in Australia, and you don't get them in the States. So the reason I bought a Megane first is because I had heard so many good things about them, and I couldn't get one back home, and I bought one here. I was like, this is why they're amazing.
That is the thing with just French stuff in general. They are hard to work on. They're harder to work on because French designers do weird stuff.
But that's just the fun thing about that engine. That engine's an Nissan engine.
Yeah.
That two-liter's an engine.
So that's part of that relationship.
It's bulletproof, that engine. You gotta take care of it because it's still a European French car. But you can beat the shit out of it. And it will just take it. The only downside of that engine, and I do love the noise it makes because it's unique, but it sounds like an angry vacuum cleaner. Or if you've ever stuck your head out the window while driving down the road, that's what the car sounds like.
Nice.
And then the new one sounds completely different, much better because 1.8 is a much characterful engine. But that 2-liter just sounds like air whoosh, and then you lift off and it gives you full burbles.
Yeah, and they do that stock, which was again on the top dead center thing. So I think just moving back to the track car, like that's definitely it. And we've got one more each.
You've got one more each.
Yeah. Okay. So what have we had so far? So we've had the MX-5.
Yep.
The BRZ
86 Trio.
Cayman.
You've
had the
Mustang,
and we've gone Megane and Clio. So we've got one more each, right? Yep. So you go for yours.
And I was really difficult for me on this one because I was like, is it a first car? Is it second track car? It's got to be under 50 grand. How are we going to maintain it? And I looked them up last night, and so I couldn't get what I wanted under 50 grand. So I just defaulted to what's in my garage. A Fiesta ST. But if you can get a Mark 6 or a Mark 7 or Mark 8 Fiesta ST, great little track car. Front wheel drive, nimble, incredibly agile, great to learn on because they're fast, they're torquey, they're powerful, they come with limited slip differentials, but they're not unwielding. But if you can figure them out, they're great little cars.
It's the same reason I guess you chose the Fiesta over the Focus. Why I chose the Clio over the Megane I would drive either, don't get me wrong, but I think, it's just that I can't stress. You drive on a track, it's stressful because you're worried about crashing the car. You genuinely are. And if that means you just don't drive it to its potential. If you've got a 5-liter Mustang, someone's never been on a track. No,
it's not a car for a new person. I don't think your point about the Clio and the Fiesta not being as intimidating is really good because I've owned a Megane. I own a Fiesta. I've driven big cars on track. And when I go back to basics, I want to work on something. I don't want to be in the big car because it's not as easy. It is, you have to think about more things. And the Megane is it punches so much harder. And the Fiesta is like, I chuck it in there. It'll work. If it doesn't work, we're just going to understeer. It's fine. What could go wrong? Don't hit anything. That's what could go wrong. So the Fiesta was the final one for me, and there's some honorable mentions. And what was your final?
My one that I've written down was a Golf.
Oh, okay.
This was actually another left field one. It's more because I drove one so much in England. So I had a Mark 5 GT. It's not called a GTD if you want to get really technical. It was a GT diesel version. It's the
another one.
5. I loved that car. I just loved it. And is it perfect for the track? No, but I think you could daily there with not a lot of work and then go to the track. And that would just be more of a casual track day use. That's what I had in mind. That's like, if you want one car that could do it all, it would be some sort of Mark 5, 6, 7 Golf.
Was it DSG or without the DSG?
I go manual for a track, just for that. Or even you could get one in budget very easily. Is the i32?
Yes.
The R32.
Yeah.
And that engine, talking of engines that sound good.
Oh, the VR6.
They're not great on the track.
Heavy, yeah.
They're heavy and they're a bit floppy.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great image. What's wrong with your Golf? It's floppy.
But if you get a Mark 5 or Mark 5 GTI,
Oh, the Mark 5 GTI.
like that is you're still going to get the rear wheel in the air. It's turning in. They've got a real nice stiff chassis. The R32 it's not as stiff, I don't think, as the GTI. I don't know why.
I think it's the suspension.
Yeah, probably. And
So,
the bigger. I don't know.
Because they've had to go soft with the suspension because the all-four. The four controls, whatever it's called, the drum system.
There's so many mods you can do to that. There's such a big aftermarket.
That's true.
That you could. This one was my one that I thought, okay, I could daily this car, and then I can go and do some light to medium track stuff. A bit like what you do with your ST. Like that's what I had in mind for that. 50 grand, one car that does it all.
Yeah, that's why I buy ST. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have honorable mentions too, which is one is a Hyundai XL.
Okay.
And
because they're
and that is Australia specific. There's going to be people watching this around the world making it go, why?
Why an XL? Yeah.
But there's such a big community,
huge,
racing series across Australia for these things. And I've driven them, and I tell you what, they've got 100 horsepower. They are so fun. Door-to-door racing.
Darty as hell. That's correct. Low power.
So fun. And I tell you what, you'd get your first season of racing, a full race series, which would be 8 events or whatever it is, and buying the car and all your gear and all your tires,
within 50 grand.
Within 50 grand.
Yeah, very true.
And that would be if you really wanted to go for it. That's my honorable mention, but you're not driving that car on the road. And I know we're talking about track cars, but so you've got 2 ends of the scale. Golf, Hyundai XL. That's
the track day car, I think, is the trick. And you can't, I know people who have XLs who also change them over and then put it and drive them home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's doable, but you're right. It's a great bang for buck series.
But you're driving a 2001 Hyundai XL.
So it's not exactly picking anyone up at the bar, you know.
And then it's not going to win. It's not going to win. You're not going to be competitive if you have, because
you can't do both. Yeah. My honorable mentions were Hyundai N series cars.
Okay, any?
Yeah, well, i30 hatch specifically because you can get them at a good deal
one day.
They are phenomenal machines. I personally would still rather have a Megane over an N, which is why the Megane's on the list, not the i30.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great car. And if you're the first owner of one, you also, because you can get the i20 for less than 50 grand, you get your trap day within cover and warranty. So that's a good point. My other honorable mention, which was hard to find under 50 grand and not worry about it, was a GI RS.
Yeah, I did consider that one too. I've driven a couple of those. Don't know.
They're a very unique flavor of car. I think they're excellent. I wanted to hate it, and then I drove it and was like, "This is really good."
I didn't like the gear change. I'm being rude. This is really cardio and boring stuff, but I didn't like the gear shift.
I didn't like the exhaust noise. It doesn't make a good noise.
And you know the other thing as well is I had the one I drove.
You had that clapped out one.
No. It wasn't clapped out. It had a Rocket Bunny body kit on. And it was wrapped in blue.
Rocket Bunny.
And honestly, it was insane. It was absolutely, it was ridiculous.
It's a great way to get attention.
Oh, yeah. He definitely got some of that. I don't know if it was good attention.
It depends on what you could.
I was getting a lot of hand signals from people.
Just number ones mostly.
Yeah, ones, twos sometimes as well.
Because you get twos in the UK.
Yeah, we're flying V. Yeah.
I've always been number one.
Yeah.
Wow, so that's interesting. So we got BRZ 86 twins. We agreed on. We agreed on MX-5 Miata. We sort of agreed on Clio and Megane, but 2 separate approaches.
Yeah.
So the Clio and the Megane, the Mustang, and the Cayman. Interesting pairings. We've kind of lined up on philosophies.
Yeah.
And then Fiesta ST and the
Golf, that is the one that stands out there. Maybe I rushed that a little bit.
It's like you've got your purist, those first 2. You've got your kind of, front wheel drive royalty and Renault Sport. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And then you've got your dailies, which is Fiesta and Golf, and your big wild cards.
yeah, with the Cayman and the Mustang. I tell you what, that would be a good series too. It's a lot of money. For our first track party, it's got to be the BRZ then, or maybe you could probably convince me for an MX-5, but
we can rock paper scissors it.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to a little bit of news. It actually hasn't been a lot of news this week. in the car space as far as
I have some though. I do have some.
You do have
I
more.
snuck it in last.
Did you? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Because I put up some new vehicles that have come in. Kia has now released the new Seltos. I do that right. The Seltos. Did I say that right?
Is it Seltos?
Seltos?
Yeah, I think it's Kia Seltos.
Oh, there we go. With the ST stuff. Because it's the Stonic and it's a Seltos. So I screwed up. So Kia has the new Seltos, right?
Why do you say that in an English accent?
I don't know. It just comes up. It's sitting on YouTube. I'm here for 2 hours. I sound British. From Essex. And it looks good. If you haven't, well, I actually probably going to throw one up on the screen. It looks really, really good. I like the design. They put the light kind of inside of the front of the car. So like it's almost like it's part of the grill when it's not on. We've got it up on the screen in front of us. Now, some of the Kia stuff is funky and polarizing. We just recently had the EV4 on the channel. Not everyone liked it, but I think this style works on this car.
I need to, I mean, we're filming a lot. We're going to be filming some of these soon. And I need to understand what's the difference. Is this the same platform as the EV4? Or
that's a good question.
EV5?
So
I don't know.
I think it's similar to the EV5 platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to double check that. This was running a mild hybrid and hybrid options in a general like petrol powertrain. But it does look a lot like the EV5.
Yeah.
It does a lot like the EV5.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
It is that size class.
In
fact, I think it's this class, technically the class below.
Okay.
Because this would be the EV3 size class, or small SUV size class.
Okay.
The EV5 is a medium SUV, which is Sportage.
I'm surprised because look, they're very forward thinking in their design, and look, the Tasman has obviously taken a lot of criticism.
The Tasman looks like Pumbaa.
Yeah. I had one of these. I was just driving to the gym the other day, and I saw one of the older ones, or the current one, if this hasn't quite been released yet, that drove alongside me. I thought, bloody hell, that's a good looking car. And then I saw what it was, and I was like, oh yeah, they're quite nice. And I'm not sure on the headlights, if I'm honest, looking at that.
I like them.
But and I don't know what it is with manufacturers at the moment, and they can't get wheels right for the moment. I know it's for aero.
Yeah.
They just look a bit old, don't they? So it's but no, I think they're having a go with their design. It's not just the same.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the Kia design philosophy is really bold, and it's a bit starshipy at times.
Yeah,
like the EV4 is a good example. It is a really, really bold design. And the car looks really beautiful and swoopy, but then there's some angles where it's like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
I think one of the comments we got on the EV4 on the social medias was the back of the EV4 looks like it's birthing a Tasman.
Yeah.
And I can no longer unsee that personally. That was the best comment.
So you know what would be the journalist spin on that? It would be the design language translates from the Tasman to the EV4.
It doesn't though. I don't know what ruler they were using on the Tasman versus what they were using on the EV4, but it wasn't the same bloody ruler. Yeah. Whereas you look at the EV4, you look at the EV5 and the EV3, they're all very similar.
Yeah.
We've got the EV5 this week. Tomorrow.
Picking up tomorrow. So that and the Sportage.
Yes,
tomorrow.
Correct.
So
Platform Sportage.
Really,
Sportage.
Yeah, and we've already had some questions. We put a reel out yesterday, or a short out, whatever platform it is. I sound like an old man now. This weekend, and we had some questions about batteries specifically. So it'll be good to get some answers on that. We
I got some of those already. We'll chat through those as part of the reviews and the shorts we do out the week.
Yeah, definitely. So Kia, really exciting stuff coming up there. Just a couple other bits of news too. So I saw this. I just found this really interesting. Was the Nissan Qashqai?
Oh yeah,
this e-Power, which is it's a way of using hybrid. Effectively, they use it like a generator rather than having it connected to the wheels in any way.
Yeah,
just for everyone out there. And they were getting 300 kilometers out of a tank of fuel, which is about 50 liters of fuel.
300 kilometers?
1,300.
There we go. I was like,
300.
That seems like not a lot. So
that's
1,300 kilometers.
That's about 850 miles in freedom units for
oh yeah.
So you know what
that's the only way I can remember it.
Or 1 million gallons of fuel, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so
that's the same tech they use in the Outlander plug-in hybrid as well.
No, it's different.
It's different?
It's different. So the Outlander is a plug-in hybrid, and it has a bigger battery, you plug it in hybrid.
Right.
The one for the e-power, you don't plug it
There's no plug-in at all.
It's just the hybrid system. But it's really unique because
Okay.
this is to the Qashqai and the X-Trail platform. It works in a different way. So you have a generator, small 1.5 liter Renault engine.
Yep.
And
Is that on that last?
that charges up the battery, and it's got a small 1 kilowatt battery which powers the wheels.
I don't know.
So no physical connection to that there as well. So mixed reviews on it from journalists and whatnot. I've read some mixed reviews on it. I've not driven the Qashqai specifically. The platform is the same. It's a different body. The Qashqai and the X-Trail is the same. I have an X-Trail, last generation one, and the car's a lot bigger. I don't know why you'd buy the Qashqai because it's smaller.
It was cuter for a while, but it's not that cute anymore.
Yeah, I'd want the. Why would you not want the bigger one to the same platform? But that's me. But yeah, 1,300 kilometers out of 50 odd liters of fuel, and that's not just a WLTP.
That was a real world experience we found.
Yeah,
that was a real world example.
They did it. Yeah. They drove it from somewhere in England to somewhere in Scotland, and the whole journey was about 850 miles, and they worked out afterwards they had about 100 miles left of fuel in the car still. So that just stood out to me. Bit boring, really, but it's
cool to know the tech's there. Like we're now at the point that the tech is so good that range is not an infinite problem.
And this ties in really nicely to what we're going to be talking about in one of our videos next week, which is hybrid versus EV. So we'll come on to that in a different. We'll cover that next week. The big piece of news, though, I did see this, and especially for rednecks as well.
Oh no,
the V8 is back.
Oh no, is that the tank thing?
No. Well, that as well. So yeah, the GWM allegedly are doing a tank 700 and a V8 in.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about it.
Give me a V8. Let's go.
I don't.
GM. So this is a big deal across 2 factories, one in Canada and one in the USA somewhere. They've invested $3 billion into a new LS.
The new LS, yes. I did hear about this over the weekend, and I do have to say a little bit of me wanted some bourbon and fried chicken all of a sudden. Like I really wanted to be like, well, I can't remember how it goes. Actually, I'm not going to use that term on the podcast, but I was a little bit of a patriotic moment there. It was like, okay, we're finally getting another LS. There's been a million versions of the LS. It's just nice to hear the architecture change. But fun fact about the LS is that the architecture of that engine hasn't changed in like 40 years.
No. Push rod.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Make it lightweight. Just make it rev its balls off, and it's fine. And put it in the front of the Corvette, and people love it. But they had to go to the LT because, ironically named, for the Corvette because the Zora platform needed a smaller engine.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're going to call it. I think I'm reading this notes here. It's called the LS6.
Okay.
And it displaces. It's a 6.7 liter. Jesus. So and apparently this is small block still.
Yes.
Because that's what they call this. The engine.
Smaller cubic inches.
As a European, like the 6 liter engine, and that's classed as a small block is wild to me.
Yeah, because it was an 8 liter Cadillac engine that was a big block.
Yeah.
Everything's about size.
But I don't understand how the power output is just so small for such a big engine. Now they're fixing that with the LS because they've been developing for 1,000 years.
Well, yeah,
I
mean, if we really want to get nerdy, the way it's all fuel air and bangs, right? As everything is in life. But the V8s back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s just weren't revving that high. And we were carbureted. We couldn't put as much fuel in there. We couldn't get as much air. But they also were just designed to last for ages. I mean, they were lazy.
Big lazy V8.
Big lazy V8s. Didn't rev more than like 5,000 RPMs. So they're just like, And that was wild if it rev 5,000 RPMs. And then, we got the European racing series with Ford's involvement and eventually Chevrolet's was really what made them push the envelope.
Just while we've been talking about it as well, I've just read a comment here that I'm, as a petrol head, and I am old school for sure, I've got a quote here which says, Australian US executive have previously committed to keeping V8s alive locally for as long as it's economically viable or until regulations forbid them from doing so.
Yeah.
So we're going to have V8s for a bit longer yet.
We have HSV, well, GM SV now. So Corvette is here. The 1500 truck is here. 2500 truck is here. And Ford said the same thing. Jim Farley famously said, we're going to make the V8 Mustang until we can't anymore. Until they tell us we can't anymore. So we'll have plenty of beautiful V8s. We just may not have them quite as freely singing as they normally would otherwise. I think we'll see a big V8 hybrid platform from Ford and probably GM as well. You see that in BMW. You see it with Mercedes. They package that V8 against the plug-in hybrid system on the new M5.
Well, look, I don't want to go into this in too much detail because I'm just conscious of time. I've seen America, and I'm guessing this is where that investments come from, have just relaxed all the emissions rules. Yeah. So I'm guessing that's why GM have said, okay, cool, let's pull the trigger on this massive investment. Because $3 billion on a V8 in this economy, in this climate is huge. Like that's massive. So they're obviously anticipating to make back a lot more money than that, and they're going to invest in a new one. So that's probably where that comes from.
Be the biggest market too.
Yeah. And look, it might pays the way for European manufacturers to go, if we're going to sell into the American market, we can start bringing back Audi R8 V10s again, or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's what we're seeing with M particularly going. We are going the hybrid electric route, but we're also making these stupidly insane plug-in hybrid systems because it can do both.
Yeah, that's the future, isn't it? So that's we'll see how we go with that. I've got a note from you here. Range Rover sensory floor.
Yes.
I already don't like this.
I didn't like it either. So Range Rover recently said they put out a new SV model, all these cool special features. One of them is that it's supposed to give you a concert hall feeling. And I don't know how I feel about this at all. There's literally little I can't remember exactly what they call actuators, I think is the term they used, in the floor, in the seat, so you can feel the music.
So it's a subwoofer.
Yeah, but its whole point is to vibrate vibrate you to bits.
I can imagine girls liking that a lot.
I'm glad you went there. But we just want to listen to Vivaldi, but really they just want to drive around the block. I think I love a good sound system in a car. I think it's really cool when you can sit in a car. Volvo's got a beautiful sound system, and you can hear like you're standing inside the concert hall. It's awesome. I don't know that if I need my feet vibrated. I don't know how I feel about it. I should not beat it up until I've tried it. Just try everything once, right? But it just sounds like overkill.
Yeah,
what's the point?
I'm not on board with this at all. I mean, how did that get through a design meeting? You're sitting in the middle. Do you know what? We can make this better. We could put some more subwoofers in, put more speakers in. We've got this immense sound system. How does somebody put their hand up and go, we need to have a sensory floor?
We need to vibrate your legs.
We need to vibrate. It's just ridiculous. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
I don't know where it came from. I imagine but
this is from Special Vehicles, Range Rover, right? Yeah. So it's that.
It's that like wild luxury bit.
Yeah.
To be fair, the paint and the color they've chosen, that beautiful pearlescent silver, is like mint. And knowing JLR, they do some beautiful paints, so it will look amazing. It just might feel really strange,
and then it'll probably not work for 5 years. So that's usually. Yeah. But look, the Range Rovers, I've driven heaps of them. I work for one of the biggest used Range Rover sales businesses in England for quite a long time, and they're brilliant cars when they work. But
then they work.
The problem is, and look, if you're a first buyer of one, you've got a factory warranty, sure, go for it. But if you're that third buyer and you don't have 50 grand set aside for your track car project, just stop. Because I've driven some of the older ones, they always go wrong. I've actually got a story, just very briefly. We were going to take out on a shoes. There we had 7 Range Rover SVRs, which is a 5-litre Jaguar V8 thing. There was 7 in the showroom, all the same spec, because they just got a lot of them in and they were selling them. It took us to the 6th one before it would start, because 5 of them had either fat batteries, there was something else wrong with it, and they weren't old. The things they were 3 years old or less, and I've had one as well. I've given them to influencers for businesses I've worked with before, and they're just a headache. They really are a headache.
I used to work for a Jaguar Land Rover dealership, it's also the importer in New Zealand, and they're such phenomenal cars.
They're beautiful
when they work.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
But we have so many stories very similar where something would happen. Like we had a Velar kick its leg up like it was taking a whiz one time because the airbag computer decided to stop in the showroom. And then we had, little things like that. We had a D5 go out the door with a new twin turbo engine and literally blew its turbo up a mile away. So little things like that They do fix them in the end, like but it's towards the end of their lives.
Yeah. I mean, look, in the interest of fairness, so one of the directors at the business I used to work for, he had a Range Rover in England, and he's Australian based. He just left it in Twickenham on the streets for months at a time while he was here. I drove it when I went over there. He's had it for 3 years, never serviced it, never done anything to it, and it just works.
Maybe that's the trick. Maybe the trick to a JLR is just to not service them and abuse the shit out of it.
And I tell you what, that was one of the most beautiful cars I've ever driven. It was honest that every time I get in one, you get this, I don't know what it is about a Range Rover, you just get this sense of superiority immediately. And I really got that. And that car personified Range Rover, that great car. Everyone loved it. I went to see friends and family. They're, oh my God.
I think it's the royal tax. You feel like the queen.
Yeah.
You just need to put your little bonnet on and some gloves and just drive up on the wheel and you're fine.
But it is great. And I think the key is buy that 4.4 liter twin turbo diesel one. That's
buy the BMW one.
Yeah. that had that. I think that is the engine, right? So, and they tend to be a bit more reliable. The newer ones, they get a bit, what is it? Crank snappy.
Cranky is a good way to put it. They get cranky.
But
they do have some cranky issues, and they had some issues with the linings and oils and things.
Yeah. So sensory floor, a no from me.
I want to try it, but also at the same token, I'm like, this is going to be a hard sell.
Was it an option, or does it come standard?
It's an SV option. Yeah.
Okay. How much was it?
I didn't even bother because I knew it was going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't even think they said the press release.
Could you imagine if it was $5,000? Like, just not.
It'd be more than that. Like, it was probably the premium sound system.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. That's just no. So yeah, look, that's kind of it for news. So we said there wasn't a lot there.
There was quite a bit in the end, actually. So we've got a lot coming up as well. We've got the 2 Kias this week. We're going to be filming, so you guys will see the content coming out slowly but surely. We've just got to get the filming done. So we'll see some shorts come out probably later this week, with the full stuff coming out the following. And then, well, I guess by the time this goes out, we would have done the filming. So you'll be seeing the Kia stuff go out. And then we've got Hyundai in a couple more weeks, along with potentially BMW. We're just waiting on dates to confirm.
Yeah.
And it's an end product, Hyundai's and Ionic products as well, so the EV products. We've got Honda.
I'm really excited for those, by the way. The end style. Every time I drive one of them, they're great.
Just sounds so good.
Yeah.
We've got another Hyundai in South Australia, so Alpha Alexio, the new EV. So we'll have that in small, short form content. And we've got other things we're working on the pipe. And like Ali said before, we're talking to a particular racetrack here in Queensland and hoping that we can maybe get some time out there with them and do a bit more dynamic testing and fooling around a bit and see what happens. Keep everyone engaged. We're also doing some different tries with videos. So there's stuff you're enjoying on the channel right now, let us know. If there's stuff you want to see on the channel, let us know. If you have a car that you want us to feature on the channel, if there's a really cool story you know about one, please let us know, because we have some more storytelling pieces that we want to do in the future. But that's all I had. I think. Is there anything else on our list, or we've sent the whole thing?
We've exhausted our list, and if you made it this far, just thank you so much for listening and watching. And look, and I've said this in the last past podcast as well. We've had so many views, and we're just 2 guys talking on the internet, and it's kind of still very new to us. We feel like we've got a long way to go, but it's the response so far has been fantastic.
Absolutely.
And I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more of it, just please share and subscribe to the YouTube channel and TikTok. We've got Facebook and Instagram coming very soon too.
Spotify, if you want to listen and not want to watch us, beautiful places.
And yeah, that's about it really. So yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks guys. Then see you soon.